Hello! Okay, for those of you returning to the channel, welcome back, and for those of you that are new here, that have just stumbled upon this video, then thank you for joining me. And so, yeah, for those of you that are new here, I'm a massive fan of both the Alien and the Predator franchise, and this week, the first full trailer for Predator Badlands dropped, and I just have to talk about it. I've already watched the trailer, I've seen it a couple of times, I don't really do reaction videos, but I like to share my thoughts with you all on how I felt with the trailer, the things that I liked, the things that I didn't like, the things that I'm hoping for, and there was a lot that I just wanted to share with you guys when it comes to the latest Predator Badlands trailer. I am really excited for this movie. It's one of my anticipated movies of the year. I absolutely admired what Dan Trachtenberg did with both Prey and Predator Killer of Killers. If you haven't seen either, please check them out. Enough rambling, let's jump straight into this trailer. Okay, let's have a look. So, already, you know, these first few seconds, this shot alone gets me incredibly excited. As a fan, as a big fan of both the Alien and the Predator franchise, this shot alone gets me incredibly excited. Like, you've got Elle Fanning here playing this synthetic. She's got the Weyland-Yutani logo in her eye, just like with Andy in Alien Romulus. And you've got the Weyland-Yutani logo there, and she's in this unit, this Weyland-Yutani unit, and it looks as if she's being sort of plugged in. And it just gets me incredibly excited. I just love how they are incorporating these different elements from sort of the both franchises here, and doing it in a way that will slowly and gradually build up to what will potentially be an Alien versus Predator movie. And I just love the direction that they're taking to sort of kind of lead us into that Alien versus Predator movie, hopefully. And I just feel like the way in which they're doing it, the way in which they're incorporating these different elements from both franchises, which you will witness as the trailer plays now, I feel like it's done in a way that feels natural, it feels organic. I am really liking how they're doing it. And this just takes me back to Alien 3 straight away, with this wire, with this like prod at the end of it, sort of going into the ear of this synth bear. It reminds me of Alien 3, where Ellen Ripley plugs in the damaged Bishop. She uses a similar sort of device that it goes into the ear, I think, from what I can remember. And yeah, there's just so much going on that gets that kind of the big fan in me incredibly excited. And I think it makes sense as well to kind of really use the Weyland-Yutani, you know, this corporate business, this corporate entity, as a way of merging both the Alien and the Predator franchise. It's a very clever way to do it because, you know, at the end of the day, this is a corporate entity that has got this kind of massive presence throughout the galaxy. In many ways, it's like the Emperor from the original trilogy, where you'll see glimpses of it, whether it be an official or an agent, but there's always people talking about it. You might see the logo somewhere, and the presence of Weyland-Yutani is always felt. And that is something that I've always liked about how the corporate entity was sort of brought to life within the Alien movies, and it just makes sense really for them to use kind of the Weyland as a way of kind of bridging, or what it appears to be bridging, sort of the gap between both Alien and Predator franchise here with Badlands. Bit of tribal music there in the background.
So this
Great shot here of our Predator, the Predator that we've got to be rooting for, you know, for the first time. I mean, we're going to be witnessing this story, you know, for the first time, you're going to be witnessing this story through the perspective of the Predator. We need to get behind the Predator, and I like that take. It's different, it's refreshing, it can work if done right, and I think Dan Trachtenberg is the man to pull this off, hopefully. I mean, he done a wonderful job with Prey, and I really loved what he did. I admired what he did with Predator Badlands. I think it's, if you haven't seen that, please check it out, because I think what he does there does a great job. It's sort of what appears to be slowly introducing us into this world that he is building, sort of the, he's expanding upon the lore in a way that feels natural, it feels organic. And I kind of like the sort of the choice of weapons they're using here for this Predator, because it's almost like it's going back to basics. Like, this Predator has to prove himself, and I think by going back to basics, like with a sword or a bow and arrow, I just like how the story of the Predator is kind of reflected as well within the choice of weapons.
Your first hunt. And you've come.
And I just want to say, I'm gonna have to, like, I really dig in the look of this Predator. Not many people are keen on it, keen on the design or keen on the look. For me, personally, I feel like this is the closest we've gotten to that original Predator, the jungle Predator. And a lot of that's to do with the eyes. I feel like they've really captured the eyes from that original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And because as a kid growing up watching these movies, I was watching these movies at an age that I shouldn't have been. But the Predator, yeah, it's an ugly creature with his mandibles and his mouth. It looks quite ugly. But I always found it creepy, mainly because of its eyes. Because it's got quite human-like eyes. And I always found that creepy. And I feel like they've really gone back to that original design, especially with the eyes here. Maybe that's just me, but that's how it looks. Because it's giving me those same kind of vibes. It looks quite creepy, even though now this is a Predator we've got to get behind and root for. And I think for me, the only major design change or difference is the hair. And a lot of people are saying that they feel like it sort of leans, like there are some design changes in sort of the face, and sort of it kind of leans a little bit more into it looking a little bit more human, or having a bit more human characteristics, you could say, or design. And I could kind of see it, but I think that's because of the hair. Maybe I'm wrong, but the Predator, for me personally, has always had a kind of a human aesthetic to it. It's a blend of the human physique. It's always had this kind of human physique with this sort of alien design on top of it, and so it's always kind of had human elements. So I don't quite agree with a lot of the criticism that the design is getting. I fucking love it. I really like it.
Come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
And I love how this planet is alive, and this is where we get to the more fantastical elements, I guess, of the movie. And here we just sort of catch a glimpse of Elle Fanning's character, this android, using her arms to sort of attack this flying creature there. And that's where we get a first sort of hint at the type of humor that we may be getting in this movie. I'm just hoping it doesn't lean too heavily into it, and hopefully it just sort of stays focused around this character that Elle Fanning is playing, this synthetic. I kind of like what she does, sort of the glimpse that we get in of a character throughout this trailer. She has this kind of whimsical sort of approach to delivering sort of the humor from how it appears within the trailer. And I don't mind that, as long as it kind of, doesn't go too heavy into it.
You're after a creature that can't be killed.
I love this shot. Yeah, it's obviously hinting at something. It's like stalking Elle Fanning here in this shot, just the way in which the camera sort of pans around.
The definitive apex predator. I could help you.
Huh.
Well,
and I just want to talk about, like, again, practical effects. Like, it's a guy in a suit. My big issue with the Predator and Prey was they just ended up enhancing the Predator's face in Prey with too much CGI, to the point where it at times was a little bit distracting or jarring. And here, I think they might be trying to, they might have found the right balance. Like, you could kind of tell.
good luck.
Like, I think, it appears they've gone back to sort of the old traditional way of, a guy with a remote control, sort of, moving the mandibles and all of that. It looks very much, it doesn't look like they're relying too much on CGI, and I really like that. And again, I fucking love those eyes. For me, you know, yes, the mouth, you've got to get the mouth right, but it's always been about the eyes for me, ever since watching that first Predator movie, and I think they've nailed that, with the design. And again, you know, I think it's just the hair. I think that's what put it on, maybe, that's why, for a lot of people, this particular design's been a little bit jarring, is because of the hair. Like, it's got it tied back, whereas we're used to seeing it, around the side, and I suppose it looks a little slender, maybe, making it have a bit more of a human structure in his face, but I fucking dig it. I really like it.
Good luck with your journey.
Great shot there. Again, Elle Fanning propelling herself to attack the enemies, and I just love this shot by her as well. I know I've been gushing over sort of the design of this Predator quite a bit already, but I really dig it. I really, really dig it.
Here, you're not the Predator.
So here we got a glimpse of the skull from the alien in Independence Day. I absolutely love that. I love Independence Day, by the way. And with Disney now owning 20th Century Fox, you know, it makes sense. You've also got what looks like, I think this might be a creature that's from those stop motion animated films, like Jason and the Argonauts and something, I think. Or King Kong, maybe, but it's a bit small for that. Again, you've got this kind of elder predator, the longer dreads, and I'm loving the sort of almost like a Viking vibe as well. I just love the design and sort of the aesthetic that Dan Trachtenberg is going for you. It's kind of got this, it's almost got like a folklore or dark fairy tale or dark fantasy vibe about it, with like an 80s streak. And, you know, this is definitely a movie that appears to lean very heavily into the science fiction and fantasy elements. And I'm all up for that, because I think, again, if done right, this could work. Or it's almost like a blend of Norse mythology and sci-fi, and I really, really like it.
You're the prey.
Not sure who these are. Probably Wayland Yutani, maybe. Don't recognize the, kind of recognize the weapons a little bit. They do look a little bit like the pulse rifles. I don't think they are, though. Something very similar, but... I think this is our first time of witnessing a Predator talk. I'm just going to correct myself there, actually. You know, we have seen the Predator talk before. He obviously mimics sort of noises and voices from what other characters to sort of lure them in. It's a part of the character that I really like. But we've never really, other than, you know, the Predator saying to Harrigan in Predator 2, you know, shit happens, or to Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, what the hell are you? And, you know, the laugh. We've never really seen him kind of fully speak in his own language. That's what I mean. To actually speak in his own tongue. And we've never experienced that before until now. Other than him mimicking sort of other people and just sort of the odd line here and there. And from the glimpse that we get in, I like it. You do have a little bit more of a reliance on the CGI there to kind of really sort of help or aid with sort of the expressions when he's talking. Because I guess you could only do so much with, you know, animatronics and remote control and all of that. And so, but it looks good. I really like it. And again, those eyes. I am prey to none. Love it. Great shot there. Love it. Predator using again. I be honest with you, it looks good. I mean, it works. Like, when I first heard that they were gonna have Predators carrying and using guns in Shane Black's Predator, I was like, oh no, is that really gonna look? You know, is that gonna look good? Is it gonna work? But yeah, it fucking does. He rocks that gun. Great. And the shot that really, the shot coming up by you now that really geeked me out. Like, I proper, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Yes, it kind of looks like a dual piloted power loader. And like straight away, it just took me to the power loader scene from Aliens. You know, you've got the lights on there. It's quite dark. You can't see too much. And at first, I wasn't sure who was working or piloting this power loader. Or what looks like a power loader. It could just be this mech. And I thought this was actually the Predator here, sort of going up against this power loader. But it's not. It looks like a completely different creature. So I'm guessing that maybe the synthetic and the Predator are piloting this and are going up against this creature that we've not seen or, you know, had any glimpse of yet. Some people are speculating that this actually might be, they've done this on purpose and that what we see here, it's not going to be in the final movie and it will be a xenomorph. I'm kind of hoping that that isn't true. Going back to what I said at the beginning of the trailer, I like the approach they take in and giving us little bit by bit. You know what I mean? We're getting these different pieces of these two worlds sort of blending together and coming together. And I don't feel like I wouldn't quite want to see the xenomorph yet in a Predator movie. Just like I wouldn't really want to see a Predator in an Alien movie yet. I'm enjoying, and I think it's right at the minute to just have these standalone movies. Yes, have those connections, like with Weyland Yutani here. But that's just me, and I know even if it is a xenomorph, it's gonna probably be fucking great anyway. But yeah, absolutely great trailer, and it's a trailer that I think caters very heavily to a certain demographic, and that is the hardcore fans of both the Alien and the Predator franchise. But yeah, I just wish we'd had Prey in the cinema, and hopefully we will get Prey in the cinema before Badlands releases. They are my thoughts on Predator Badlands, the first full trailer. So yeah, they are my thoughts on the latest trailer for Predator Badlands. I fucking loved it. I am so excited for this movie. There's just so much I like. I just love what Dan Trachtenberg is doing. I do think if you've not watched Predator Killer of Killers yet, please check it out, because I think what he's doing is incredibly clever. It's a great film, and I think it's doing a really good job at setting us up with what's to come, preparing us really with what's to come. And he's building, what Dan Trachtenberg is doing a really good job at is building upon the lore of the Predator, expanding upon the lore in a way that feels natural, it feels organic, and it feels right. It's what I think, what a lot of us big fans of these movies really wants from these sequels, from these stories. And Dan Trachtenberg gets it. And so yeah, it's a really exciting time to be a Predator and an Alien fan. And I'm just liking what we are getting. But what do you guys think? What did you guys think of the latest trailer? Is there anything that you didn't like? Didn't you like the design of the new Predator? Is there anything you loved? Anything you agree or disagree? Then let me know in the comments below, and let's get a discussion going. And if you've made it this far into the video, which by the way, you deserve an award if you have, because I do tend to ramble on, but if you have made it this far into the video and you would just like to follow just some random Welsh geek ramble on about film and TV, then please hit the subscribe button. It will mean an awful lot to me. And just a big thank you to everyone that has supported the channel, whether it be liking, commenting, subscribing. It means the absolute world to me. My next movie review will be for Fantastic Four. It releases today, but I'm not going to get around to checking it out until the weekend. So I'll have a review up for Fantastic Four by Sunday the latest. And so yeah, that's enough rambling on from me. That's it for me for now. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll be catching you guys soon.